record here. Then I'm going to turn on my screen. Okay, are you looking at Infusionsoft right now? I have two screens on and I want to make sure you are seeing the correct one. So you should see Infusionsoft Basic Training. Cool. Looks like we are all good. So first off, welcome to the program, everyone. Awesome to have you all on board. The structure of these calls, this one will be a little bit different, being that it's the very first one. So most of the time, people are going to be at all different levels of kind of launching these campaigns and going through them. So this is going to be your time to kind of get all those questions answered, and any tech questions you're having, anything that's not clear, anything that you're still kind of don't quite understand, this will be the time where you can get those questions answered. I'll do a screen share. We'll do it every week. It probably will not be on Fridays. We had an event this last week, so it was a little bit different week, but I wanted to make sure that we did it this week, so this is the only day we could do it. It'll probably shift to Wednesdays, and it will probably be earlier, so it'll probably be around noon Pacific time, so 2 hours earlier, but I'll let you know. So today, what we're going to do is go through kind of some basic Infusionsoft stuff. I'm going to hop into the campaigns, and I'll kind of take you through what's happening in them. So when you're looking at it, it's not all so confusing. I know Infusionsoft is an unbelievable tool. I've been using it for a very long time. I actually used to work at Infusionsoft, so I'm an ex-employee, so I do know all the ins and outs. And there is a little bit of a learning curve, but that's why I am here. I'm here to help you get over that and learn what you need to so you can get these campaigns launched and start making some money, because that is why we are all here. So with that, a couple of things about Infusionsoft while you're going through it, and some of you have been using it, so a lot of this will probably be somewhat review, but you'll probably pick up some cool stuff along the way. For the rest of you who are brand new, don't worry, that's the majority of you. Never used this, so there will be a little bit of a learning curve, but you'll pick it up fairly quickly. So a couple things when going through it. So first off, if you don't have the campaigns yet, you should have received an email to me, or you should have received an email from me in regards to adding us as a partner user and letting me know so we can get those campaigns pushed for you. If you haven't done that yet, I'm going to take you through it right now. So when you first sign into your app, there will be like an initial setup that's asking you to set your email signature and set your address. Go ahead and go through that. Do it. Don't worry if you need to change it. You can change all of that stuff later. So don't get bogged down if you don't have that stuff set. Just get through the basic setup until you get to the page that this should be the first page that you're looking at. This Infusionsoft Basic Training. So to add us as a partner, you're going to hover over this little Infusionsoft icon that should bring up these little tabs, these little drop downs, and under the admin users right here, go ahead and click on that. You'll see two options up here: add users, add partner. We are going to go ahead and hit add partner, and then in the Infusionsoft ID, you will type brettmartineau@gmail.com. Set this to yes, send the invitation, and that will instantly give us access. And then you can let me know, hey, done, should be added, and I can go in and push all the campaigns into your app for you. So that is the first step. Before we can do anything, we need to be added as a partner so we can get you guys all of the stuff. So, and actually, I'm going to switch accounts here and hop into my own personal Infusionsoft app instead of our work one. Okay, so next, I'm going to show you the campaign builder. This is where you will be spending most of your time. This is where we spend most of our time. And this is where the magic happens, where the campaigns are built. So you guys should have all of these campaigns right here. I have a lot of test ones and stuff in here that, I just play with, and when we try and create new stuff, we mess around with them. But anyway, so today we are going to go through the Goodwill campaign. And the Goodwill is something that all of you should launch at one point, because it is just that. It's a Goodwill, and it's meant to provide value to the marketplace. So whatever your market is, the point of the Goodwill is to provide value to them. It is great for new opt-ins as well as your existing list. So you can send this really to anyone at any point, because it's just valuable content for them. And you can never give too much valuable content to people. So as long as they're using the stuff, and as long as you're providing good content, then that's awesome. And that's what the point of this is for. So we're just going to kind of go through it. I'm going to point out some kind of Infusionsoft, like what these stuff means and how you use it and stuff like that. I will get to questions. So if you have questions, you can go ahead and type them in, and I will stop and kind of, get halfway through and be like, okay, let's answer any questions. So you can go ahead and ask those, and I'll work my way through them. So the first thing you will see is this Goodwill opt-in. I named it test form. So this is a goal in Infusionsoft. If you come over here, you'll see there's the goal icon. So what you can do is drag that out, and then we'll give it a name. So new goal. And then you can choose from all of these options. So submits a web form, submits a landing page, clicks a link, reaches a score. Won't worry about that one right now. Maybe on another call, but yeah, don't worry about that. Purchases, and then these are other options. So tasks. You could have opportunity records, applies a tag. Don't worry about the ones you really need to worry about are submits a web form, clicks a link, purchases, and tags. Those are the main ones that we focus on. You can make yourself familiar with the other ones, and you might get there eventually, but for right now, don't bog yourself down trying to learn every one of these. Just focus on those. So you can see there's the goal icon. If I choose tag, for instance, and hit save, this will change into a tag goal. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. So we have a web form here, and we have a tag here. The web form will be for cold traffic. So I can run a Facebook ad, and when people opt in, they'll be filling out that form, which will kickstart the campaign, and it will drop them in this Goodwill send video one. The tag is for people that are already on my existing list. Say I want to put them in the Goodwill, but they've already opted in, and I don't want them to have to fill out a form again. So I would go through and apply this tag to them. So I can double click on this, and you'll see I have the Goodwill product name start campaign tag. So that brings up actually another good point. Before you guys start editing and using these, go into the originals. So you should be looking at this up in this little campaign box at the top. Hit drop down, and then hit make a copy, and that will just create a new it'll duplicate the campaign, so you'll have a copy. You can make all the changes. You can swap everything out on that, and that way you will always have the original to refer to. And when you're launching these, I would recommend saying like Goodwill, like we have, and then the product name. So if you're selling something from the Goodwill, put the product name in there. If you're not, which you do not have to, the whole point of the Goodwill is to provide value. Like I said, it's not meant to make money, but you can sell from it. So what we will do is have a very soft sell. So we'll have a 3-part training series. Like in this Goodwill, we're sending 3 training videos that can just be, just providing value, whatever you want them to be, as long as they're good. And then, we might say, hey, if you enjoyed this training as much as we liked making it, we have this product that will go more in depth and we'll teach you how to do XYZ without doing, whatever it may be. But like I said, very soft sale. We're not pushing on people. That's not really the goal. The goal is just to provide goodwill. And then, we'll make a soft pitch and say, hey, but if you liked it, then we don't want to prevent people from giving us money. So we'll say, hey, if you liked it, you can buy it here. So that's kind of how it works. So we have our tag. We have our opt-in right here. A lot of questions I have got are, how do we integrate that with Megaphone? So how do I get my Megaphone pages? You all have Megaphone accounts. You should have all received your login credentials for that within the email. So I'm working on building out all of your pages. Most of you should have them all done. Some of you will only have them half completed. I'm getting to it. It takes a little bit of time, so appreciate your patience. So if we hop over to Megaphone, I'm going to open up one of these opt-ins. So you should have a Goodwill opt-in page. You can click and edit the copy and do all that. I'm not going to get into that too much right now, but under form integration, you will need to integrate it with Infusionsoft, which is probably something I should show you how to do. So let's do that first. So the first thing that Megaphone is going to ask you when you integrate, it's going to say enter your app ID, I think it is, and your encrypted API key when you're trying to integrate the two. So how you find that is under the admin settings. You'll see these tabs on the left. We have general and then application. Go ahead and click on application. Scroll down to the section that says API. And your API passphrase, if you're new to Infusionsoft, will be blank. To be honest, I have no idea what the passphrase is used for. I don't know what mine is. I set it a long time ago. I've never used it since. So you can just set anything there. Some of you probably know what it's for, but I have no idea. I've never used it. So just type in a password there and hit save, and then it will generate this encrypted key for you. So you'll just copy that, put it in the little box that asks for the key, and it'll ask for your Infusionsoft app name. Your Infusionsoft app name is what is in the top of the browser. So when you're signed in, it should say something like xy123.infusionsoft.com. So mine is xp142.infusionsoft.com. That's the app name. That's what that's referring to. Whenever you call Infusionsoft support, that's the first thing they will ask you. Be like, okay, what's your app name? And you'll say XP142. And they'll say, okay, cool. And they'll look you up and they can get into your app and troubleshoot anything with you. So use them as well. That's kind of another tangent. Contact Infusionsoft support to help you. They won't be able to help you with like specific strategy stuff for these campaigns, but if you're trying to just set up Infusionsoft stuff, like you're trying to add your products, you're trying to figure out how to set up the e-commerce portion, figuring out all that stuff, reach out to them. They will be very helpful. I would love to help you all. And I will try to as much as I can, but you're going to get a quicker response from them than you are from me. I wish that was not the case. I wish I could respond very quickly, but I get a lot of requests, so I have to work through them. So as much stuff as you can get from them, as far as they can take you in this setup, will be better for everyone, because less questions I get, obviously, the quicker I can respond. So just a little, and they have chat support and phone support, as well as go to help.infusionsoft.com will be very helpful for you as well. They have a lot of walkthroughs on there, and you can just go there and type products, and it'll be like how to add products, how to set up payment plans, how to do this, and they'll have great walkthroughs there. So anyway, but I digress. So back to the Goodwill. Now we should have this all integrated. So when you click on that little form integration on the left, integration provider, you're going to select Infusionsoft, and then it's going to ask for web form. This is just the name of this form. So you'll see mine is Goodwill opt-in test. Now, in order to change that name, in order to get that form active, you're going to have to do two things. Double click on it. And up in the top right, you'll see yours should be in draft mode. So you're going to have to hit this little slider in the top right from draft to ready. Whoops. And it doesn't want me to because on my thank you page it's not set. So I'll do that. And now it's all ready. So then I go back to campaign, and once I change the name of this to something that's distinguishable, so that's why I did Goodwill opt-in test, then I hit publish. That way the changes will take effect. Publishing it does not make it go, well, it does make it go live, but you can publish as many times as you want. It's not like something like, oh, I can only publish this once when it's ready. Once it's published, I can't make any changes. No, you can publish hundreds of times. It won't affect anything. You can publish while people are in the campaign still. Yeah, so you can publish as much as you want. Okay, so now we've changed our name. We've published it. We can go over to Megaphone. And that form name should appear in these little drop downs. So you can see I have a million of them. And there is Goodwill opt-in test. So I can hit save. And that's it. This form is now live. If I take the link from right here and blast it out to a bunch of people and they fill this out, even though it's generic content, they will now be dropped into this campaign, and this campaign will start rolling. So very easy to set up. So let's move on to the sequence. So we have Goodwill send video 1. If you double click on that, this is what's called a sequence. You'll see it over here. You can click and drag it out if we're starting from scratch. So double click on that and you'll see we have our emails and our timers. And this is all drag and drop. So if I was starting fresh on this second line, I'll drag out a start icon. They always have to have a start icon. Under communication, I will click and drag an email. I will click and drag a timer. I'll click and drag another email, and this is just an example of kind of how you would structure if you're creating a campaign from scratch. So you'll notice that none of these are connected. If I hover over the start, you'll see there's that little green arrow. I can click that green arrow and drag and just drop it into the email, and now they're connected. Do the same thing here. You'll see those green box appear, and let go. Now they're all connected. So that's kind of how you structure these. If I wanted to set up the timer, just double click on it, and it will ask me, wait at least. So this one's set to 3 days. Let's say I want it to wait 1 day and then run on a weekday. Don't want it to send on weekends at 8 a.m. Sure. Hit save. That's all set. So that's kind of how you structure those. I'll go ahead and delete these. Oops. Now at the bottom, you'll see we're applying and removing tags. So these tags are just kind of letting us know, okay, this is where these people are in the particular campaign. So if I pulled up their contact record, it would say Goodwill sending video 1. So I can look and say, okay, they're in the Goodwill sending video 1 section. This one is removing the start campaign tag. That is the one that was just applied previously. We're removing that so that if we want to add them back through this campaign at some point, Infusionsoft will not apply the tag twice. So if they already have that tag, it will not apply it and nothing will happen. So we have to remove it in case we want to send them back through the Goodwill, in a couple of months or whatever. All right. Now, editing emails. So for you guys, when you come in here, you'll have to integrate the form, set that up, and then you can go right into editing these emails. So we'll double click. And you should see Frank's copy in here that we've somewhat templatized for you. So I just made this video for you, and it shows you how to result. So gain more customers without stuff that sucks, spending thousands of dollars, how to lose weight without giving up all the foods you want to eat, how to, X without stuff that sucks. You get the idea. So how to do something, that's just one of the kind of headlines of videos that we've used that we've shown gets a lot of opens. So it's kind of good to stick with that formula. It works well. Put the image right here. So if I have an image there and I want to link it up, I can just highlight. You wouldn't do this for an image, but this is how you set a link. Highlight it, link. I can put the web address right here. I can also, there's this little section called campaign link. I can select that, and it'll say, please select one. I have my VSL, my video 1 page, my video 2 page, my video 3 page. So I'm going to set my video 1 page. So now that is linked to my video 1 page. You're probably wondering where that video 1 link is. How do you set that? How do you change it? I'm glad you asked. So we're going to go back to campaign real quick. Up on this drop down up here will be a section called links. And you'll see we have the link to the VSL, the video 1, video 2, and video 3. These should all be set in your campaigns already. You should have all these links. Now these ones will be default. Like it'll just say plus this link. I think it says like megaphone page here. I actually have the megaphone pages in there, but within megaphone, you will just go over there, say this is the video 1 page. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So say this is the video 1 page. You'll do all your edits on here. Then you'll just grab the link, copy it, drop it over here. So hit edit, drop it in here, hit save. Now I can go through on my emails and just link all back to this kind of central location. So if I need to change the link for video 1, I can do it in a centralized place instead of going through each individual link and each individual email and kind of having to do it that way, which is a very manual process. So okay, so yeah, so you'll come in here, you'll set your links, you'll come into these emails, you'll change them up. You can leave the subject lines if you want. You can put your own in. You can do whatever. These are yours for the taking. So I would suggest using Frank's, using his kind of format for these and his kind of flow, but make sure you use the language that you would speak with your audience. So all of you have probably been following Frank for a while. You know he likes to say like dude and LOL and stuff, and that's how he talks. That's how he talks in life. That's how he talks to his audience. So it's all very consistent. So your language, don't say, dude, you should buy this, if you're working in financial services or something, because that's probably not how you talk to your audience. If it is, then by all means do it. But just take the format of this, not necessarily the wording, and put it in your own voice, put it how your audience expects you to talk to them. So be unique, be yourself. The other thing that please change, because we have had people launch before without changing this email address, and all of a sudden we get a bunch of emails. Frank got a bunch of emails, and he was like, dude, what is this? And it was because someone launched, but they didn't change the email address up here. So in this from box, you can select, so these are all users on my account. You can select the name, or you can select other. So in this case, it's Frank Kern, but I can change this to, help at. So I can change it to that email. It'll send from it, and then when people respond, it will go to help@frankkern.com. So you can set that to whatever you want. If you select the other, you can put whatever name you want there. So I can change that to help desk or, whatever. The to email is just leave it as email. That's the main email field in Infusionsoft. That's what you want to send to. So let's move along. So you'll see next we have our goal. This is a link click goal. So that little arrow in the corner, that tells us that it's a link click. If I click in the corner, you'll see it says this goal is achieved when a contact clicks a link. I can change it right here. I don't want to though. So save. And if I double click, it will bring up my previous emails. So these 3 emails, Goodwill Video 1, Email 1, Video 1, Email 2, Video 1, Email 3, are from the previous sequence, the one we were just looking at. So you'll see in here, there's these green, they're already checked, and then the blue. The blue means that we're not tracking it for a link click goal right now. So obviously we have the unsubscribe link. We don't want the goal to be achieved if they click unsubscribe. The one we just set, this is the one I just did. So yeah, we'll make that a clickable goal. So now whenever someone clicks these links, any one of them in the email, this goal will be achieved and they'll be put into this sequence. So you'll notice in here, we're sending video 1, email 1, video 1, where all of these emails are linking to the same video. And the goal of these 3 emails is to get them to watch it. But if they click the link in video 1, email 1, anytime a goal is achieved in Infusionsoft, it stops everything in the previous sequence and moves them ahead. So if they click the link in that first email, this goal is achieved and they're dropped into Goodwill Video 2 and 3. So they only got 1 email. Now, same thing happens if they get email 1, but they don't check it, maybe they read it, they don't click the link. Well, the next day they're going to get video email 2, which is linking to the same video. And you were saying, hey, I made this training, you haven't watched it yet, click here to watch it. If they click the link in that one, let's see what happens. We'll go to email 2. See, we have it set right here. If they click the link, they're pulled out into the next sequence, and same with email 3. So that's how the link click goals work. Now, if they don't do anything, so say they get all 3 of these, and they get email 3, they never watch it, they never click, you'll notice the line goes down here. So they never hit this goal, so they can't move forward. So they'll travel along this and go into our contingency. We have contingencies in place for when that does not happen, when they don't click, because most people won't, unfortunately. So here we have a tag to next campaign. So we would apply a tag that maybe is inviting them to a webinar or dropping them in another campaign so that they're always getting content from us. So Goodwill Video 2 and 3, a lot of the same, just sending out emails with content, linking to megaphone pages where they can watch the videos, and then if you're selling something, we can do a soft sell from that page. And then at the very end, we have a purchase. So if we are selling something, you would add your products into Infusionsoft. As soon as they bought, it would pull them out of here. And I can click specific product. I can click any purchase. You'd probably want specific product. I can do categories. So if you're selling maybe a plan and there's different options that are set as different products, I don't know, you can put them all in a category. Specific product, yep, you can just click and say, okay, live event. They bought that. Now that's set. So time anyone ever buys a live event, this goal will be fulfilled and they will be pulled out of the sequence and move into the next portion. So that's kind of a high-level overview of kind of the aspects of the Goodwill. And you can see, if they don't buy, we have another contingency, sending them to the next campaign. So I am going to go through some of the questions and see kind of what you are asking. Okay, VSLs. So I can see what VSLs we have to send you guys so you have an example. In terms of text over camera and like screen flow or, you being on camera presenting for VSLs, if you are a very good presenter, then it's okay to be on camera. If you're not great, don't worry, because we have actually seen that slides, like basic PowerPoint slides and voiceover and screen sharing, actually converts better than people on camera. So in the tests we've done and the tests John Benson has done, that's what we found. So text slides are fine for videos and for VSLs and everything. So if you're concerned about that, if you're concerned that you're not a performer and you're not on camera, then don't worry about that. If you are going to be on camera, make sure that you have good lighting, good camera, good sound, because any one of those that goes off, people will not be able to get past it. So make sure all of that stuff is in order, and yeah, you'll be set for those. So Megaphone account free for a period, and then we start paying. Megaphone account is free for life. The account you are on is up to 50 pages. We have about 30 of them in there for you-ish. So you can add a couple of more, but you will hit a limit at some point. So if you want more at that point, then you will have to start paying, but the rest of them, it's free. Can you explain the tagging? Yes, so tags are a complicated subject, but basically it is how you it's how you segment your list, really. So we tag based on almost everything, and tags can start a campaign. Tags can be a goal here, so they can be applied at any point in kind of the journey, in the customer journey, and it's very beneficial to kind of learn how they work. So what I will say is have a structure in place for your tags. If we go over to CRM settings, you'll see we have tag categories. These are like the default ones. And I have a lot of weird ones in here from testing. But so here's the product name tag categories we have. So these are specific to each campaign. Those are just the categories, and then we have the actual tags. So let's go ahead and pull up the Goodwill. That's the. So in this, we have sending vid1, click to vid1. So these are kind of our status tags. These will get applied to contacts so that we know where they're at in the campaign. So we can see like, okay, they're in the sending video 1. And then once they move, though, we remove that tag so that, because they're not in that sequence anymore. So then they'll go into the, they'll get the clicked vid 1, which will stay on there. So we know, okay, they took X action. If they didn't purchase, we'll apply the Goodwill product name didn't purchase tag. That way we can go back and look on their contact record like, okay, they didn't do this. So tags are just kind of a good way to kind of put labels on things. And so you can kind of see someone's history without combing through a bunch of data. You can just look at the tags and say, okay, they clicked to vid 1, they didn't buy, they did buy, maybe they purchased product XYZ, purchased X, So if I pull up a contact record, just a test contact, and I scroll down, I can see the tags right here. So I'll give you a better view. There's another section. So here's all the tags on this customer. So I can see, okay, they clicked to vid 1, they didn't purchase. I have all of them on this because I've tested it. So they probably wouldn't have a never clicked and clicked to vid 1 unless they came back through. But so it's just a way for you to kind of keep stuff in order and segment your list. So if you want to send an email to everyone who bought product Y, or maybe everyone who didn't buy product Y, you would do that based on tagging. If maybe you have a list, maybe you're in the fitness niche and you have a list of people. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to gain muscle. Those are two very different goals. and maybe you have content related to both, but you don't want to send the weight loss stuff to the people looking to gain muscle because it's not relevant to them. So maybe you have that tag on them. So you can say, okay, I want to send this email to all of these people and this one to all of these people. And you'd set all that up for tagging. So there is Brett did a webinar all on tagging. I will send that out to everyone. It's more on how to structure them and how to name them. I will send that out, and so you can I can go on for tags forever, but I will send that out so you get a better idea. The biggest takeaway with tags is just have a plan in place for them, have kind of a structure, have a naming convention, and stick to it. As long as it makes sense to you, great. That's what matters. Just make sure you're consistent and you stick to kind of your plan. Does every start button start at the same time, regardless of where they are? Yes. So if you're in a sequence, as soon as they hit this sequence, all of these will start at the exact same time. Technically, they could all be on the same line. We separate them out basically for aesthetic reasons. So you can come in there and see like, okay, here's all the emails, here's all the tags. If there's something else happening, we'll have it on a separate line, just so we can easily see like, okay, these are all the things that are happening. But yes, they all start at the exact same time, all the starts. Good question. If they watch the video, do they get the next 2 emails for video 1? No. So if the goal is achieved, now we are not tracking if they actually watch the video. We're just tracking that link click. We could track if they watch the video. There's a way to do that. We just don't do it. We're assuming if they click the link to the video, that's good enough. They're at least interested enough to do that. So we'll move them along in a sequence, and they will not get the rest of them. So the next campaign tag is just a placeholder. So say from the Goodwill, I wanted to send them to my automated webinar campaign, the AutoWebby. So let's pull up the AutoWebby real quick. So you'll notice the very first thing in it is a tag. If I double click on that, AutoWebby, send webinar invite. Okay, so that tag is kicking off this campaign. So people need this tag applied to them, and then if I apply this tag, they will be thrown into this sequence. So remember, that was send webinar invite was the tag kicking that off. So if I go back to the Goodwill, and this is how you bolt these campaigns together. So say for all the people that didn't watch video, I sent video 1, they never watched it, they never engaged. Okay, I want to invite them to the webinar. Click here, apply this tag. The tag says to next campaign. Like I said, that's just a placeholder. I'll remove that. Start typing AutoWebby. Send webinar invite tag. Click that, hit save. Now everyone who hits that contingency will get that tag, and they'll automatically be started in the AutoWebby campaign. So you can keep, once you set this all up, that's why it's so powerful. You can just keep cycling through, and you can kind of flow people through anything. And we always have contingencies in place for when they drop off. So they're always getting content, and we're always kind of giving them value and presenting offers to them. When they opt in for the Goodwill, what thank you page are they redirected to? That's a good question. So if we go into the form here, you'll see there's a little option called thank you page, a little tab. This is the default Infusionsoft one, so you can edit that or change it. If you have another page, we do have Megaphone thank you pages for you. You can hit this little drop down, hit web address, and just drop the link in there, and it'll automatically redirect them to that one. Good questions. How will it know that they bought? A couple of different ways. Well, it depends on if you're using a different, if you're using like Samcart or some kind of other provider to sell, then you will have to integrate it with Infusionsoft in order to track that. If you are using Infusionsoft order forms, then it will know based on the email. So if they use the same email address and contact ID and stuff to purchase through that, then it will track that back to their contact record and pull them out. If they use a different email address when they're purchasing, then it will not. The email address is kind of the dupe checker for Infusionsoft. So because multiple people can have the same name, but no one has the same 2 email addresses, that's kind of what Infusionsoft uses. So if someone's buying a product and they're using a different email address than they are in the campaign, it happens every now and then. We don't really worry about it. If they get the next email, okay, sorry, don't use a different email then if you don't want it. We don't worry about it too much, but that's how it tracks based on email. So you either use the Infusionsoft e-commerce and just set up order forms. That's what we do. Or if you use, some other kind of, WooCommerce or whatever else to sell, there's integrations out there that will either apply a tag to them. So you would just change this goal. So you just come in here and say, hey, if you're using an integration that's applying a tag instead of that, just say, okay, I want to change this goal to apply as a tag. It can still be the purchase, and then we'll just double click on it, and we could set our tag here, whatever that tag that's being applied is, and it will work just the same. So, good question. What about hosting the videos not on a Megaphone page? So Megaphone does not do any hosting. It's just landing page software. So we host all of our videos in Wistia. Wistia is great. You can use YouTube. You can use Vimeo. We have no problems with Wistia. Love it. So what you would do is, let's go to another template that has video. Goodwill. So if I click video, you'll see it says video URL. And paste your video's URL from the YouTube, Vimeo, Vidler, or Wistia. So you can literally just grab the URL, put it in here, click save, and it will pop the video right in here for you. And it's nice and clean, works great. And you can hide everything else, on the page. So we have these templates for you, but if you hit customize, you can say, hey, I've hidden a lot of this stuff. There's call to actions and stuff on them. I've hidden all that just because we just want just the videos on here. So yeah, it's very easy to customize. If you're looking for more customization on it, you want your own custom code, it doesn't support that, unfortunately. You'll have to go to Lead Pages or something. But for just kind of getting something up and getting a clean looking page, Megaphone is great. All right. I have Liquidator VoiceOver VSL ready. Do you recommend it for a Goodwill campaign? And would you stop the campaign or still try to sell the main product, the same Goodwill campaign after a Liquidator purchase? If the purchase is it's kind of your main product, I wouldn't sell it through a Goodwill. I would probably sell it through an auto launch or a webinar. If it's your main product, probably a webinar. That's probably the best bet. The Goodwill is best for, usually we use it as a buffer, so we'll call it a buffer sometimes. It's kind of a break in selling to them. So if we put them through an automated webinar campaign, they didn't buy, then we'll usually drop them into a Goodwill, give them some good content they can use, but we're not selling to them, and then we'll put them into another campaign. So so do the campaigns use plus this to determine if they're actually watching the videos rather than just clicking on the link? They can. Like I said, we don't track that for these. You are more than welcome to. For these ones, we want them to watch them, but we're not tracking it. So, we're tracking whether they watch it, but we're not restricting access. We're not setting the goal of them as them, watching 10 minutes of the video. Plus this will do all of that. So this is plus this for everyone. I believe I sent you an email on this. If you have not gotten it, I recommend doing so. And you can go to plusthis.com/Frank. And we have special pricing for everyone. We're not affiliated with them. We don't own them or anything. They're just friends who gave us special pricing. And they have an awesome, awesome product that literally everyone that uses Infusionsoft should have plus this. It is great. So 30-day trial, and then it's $44 a month, but lets you do everything. So if you click Add Feature, there is the video triggers, and they have a little walkthrough in here. I won't get into it too much. They have instruction on how to set that up. So basically, it'll apply a tag if they've watched X amount of your videos and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. We use it for some things, just not for this. Will we get access to the recording to view this as needed? Yes, you will. I will probably send out the first one, and then we will set up a Facebook group for everyone so that you will all be in there and be able to, help each other, support each other, bounce ideas around, kind of connect, and then we'll have all the call recordings in there as well. So you can go rewatch those and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of tags on that next campaign. The next campaign tag, just a placeholder for you. So you can replace it with whichever campaign you want to send them to next. So whatever you have set up, you can send them to that. Could we also see the Facebook ad and Frank's survey opt-in page for the survey siphon? It's been a long time since he's ran one of those. I don't know if we have that anymore. So we don't run a lot of our Facebook ads in-house. We have someone do it for us. We don't even bother with it. Like we only do Facebook ads, but we have someone else manage it for us, someone who is a pro and charges a lot of money, but they're very good. So we have them do all that for us. I can see if we still have it. I don't know if we will still have the pages for that, though. Like I said, it's been a little bit. Okay, if I do weekly free YouTube videos and don't want to hit them twice, I would want to send that email to only people not tagged as in a current campaign. Can you show how that might look? Sure. So if you're going to do that, what I would do is on all of these campaigns, whatever the first sequence is, I would just add a tag. Like so. That says, like active in a campaign. Something simple like that. And I can create the tag right here if I want. Create, I can add it into a category. So I would apply that tag at the very start of every campaign. And then at all but the contingencies, I would remove it. And if there's a purchase goal here, well, I guess if they purchase, they're out of the campaign. But so where all the contingencies are and where all the campaign ends, I would just remove that tag. So in both of these, I would then go in and remove active in a campaign. So that way, if they're in one currently, they have that tag. If not, if at any point they've fallen off, it got removed from them. And then what you can do is if you're looking to send a one-off email, that's what's called a broadcast. So under marketing, we'll go to email and broadcasts. Start it. So it says choose recipients. You're going to do new search. Tag IDs, we want to do doesn't have any of these tags. And then I will do active in a campaign. Then I'll search everyone. That will give me a list of everyone without the active in campaign tag. I'll hit save. It's obviously going to be 0. Oh, never mind. It's going to be everyone because no one has that tag. So then I would go next, and you can type up your email here. I can hit edit email body. You can put the link in there. You can do all of that from here, and it will only go to the people without that tag. Okay. Do you recommend notifying you when a purchase is made? Yeah, sure. Why not? It's always a fun notification and email to get. Hey, someone bought. Yeah, no real reason not to unless you don't want to see it. Are all the Goodwill video pages on Megaphone already set up for us? You have all the templates. Like I said, some of you might only have half of your pages. I'm still working on some of yours, but you will have the pages that look like this. It will say Goodwill Video 1, Video 2, Video 3. So you will have them all. They're not integrated with Infusionsoft yet. I showed you how to do that. And they're not, the copy is all default copy because you're going to have to put in your own copy and own videos. But these are all the templates that we've used. So you can come in and customize them any way you want, but they're marked accordingly as to the templates that we used. Okay, can you give a brief description of the campaigns and the outcomes for each? Sure. So the first one we have is the automated webinar, AutoWebby. This is my favorite one. It is great if you run webinars. First part is an invite. Second part is a web form. This is actually the registration form. So when they actually register for the webinar, they can, then we'll pull them out of the invite sequence. So we send 2 emails that are linking to the registration. When they actually fill out the registration, they're pulled out and dropped into the reminder indoctrination sequence. This campaign will probably be a call all in itself. I would go to you all have access to the videos. If you don't, you can shoot me an email. You should have received access to those that go through kind of how to set this all up using Stealth Seminar, which is a great automated webinar service. You can also use Webinar Jam. We've used that as well. They both work. They both integrate with Infusionsoft. So basically what's happening is, so this little person here means that this is an entry point into the campaign as well. So entry points meaning they can start the campaign right here without getting the invite email. So this way we can, run a Facebook ad directly to the registration, and we can invite our entire list of people that have already opted in. So if we want to do cold traffic, they can come in right here. Otherwise, we apply a tag to them. They start there. Everyone's registering on the same form though. So we have we have a confirmation. We have the indoctrination videos, which are reselling them on the webinar. So the indoc videos, basically, the internet is people don't care about you as much as you think they do, and they don't care about us as much as we think they do. That's how it works. We all get thousands of emails a day. There's lots of content. There's lots of noise. So the indoctrination videos are meant to resell them on the webinar. If I register for a webinar that's next week, chances are I'm probably going to forget about it. So we send indoctrination videos, which are basically like, hey, here are the slides from the webinar. Here's what we're going to cover. Here's what you're going to learn how to do, so that they're stay engaged and they're like, oh, yes, I need to show up to that. And they make it appointment viewing. And then we have our reminders set. These are based on the webinar time that they signed up for. So these are field timers. Field timers mean they're reading a specific Infusionsoft field. We didn't really get into that, so there's a lot to cover. Basically, whatever time for the webinar they signed up for, we are running it. So these reminders will only go on that day at a specific time. So we have it at 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 10:15, and 11. We have all of our webinars at 11 Pacific time for the most part, all the automated ones at least, and we do not offer replays. That is all on purpose. So then we are tracking, and Stealth is doing this for us, whether they logged into the webinar, whether they saw the offer as well. So if our webinar is 2 hours, we might start pitching the product at an hour and a half. So we want to track, A, did they show up for the webinar? Did they log in? Yes. Okay, did they bail early? Or did they stay through the offer? Are they familiar with what the offer was? So we're tagging them again here. And like I said, that's all set up in the webinar platform. That's not actually in Infusionsoft, but within Webinar Jam and Stealth, it will ask you, apply. It'll give you the option to apply tags at certain points in the webinar. So that's what these are. Then we have two kind of routes that they can go. This is kind of based on your own strategy. So we send the same content to the people that logged in. Well, sometimes we've done it differently. To the people that logged in and bailed early and didn't stay through the offer, and the people that stayed through the offer will go here. Now, they will go into the objection handling, which is a series of emails basically answering the yeah, but. So these are the people that didn't buy yet. Remember, if they bought from the webinar, they're automatically put here and they're pulled out of everything. They don't get anything else. They don't get any more emails. If they did not buy, they go into objection handling, which is just say, hey, a lot of you have been asking me, will this work for my business? Or, will I really be able to put on muscle if this, if you know your market and you know your product and you know your audience, you will know kind of what those are. You will notice that you're getting the same questions over and over, and people will have the same doubts, like, yeah, but will this work if I do this? Will this work for my business if I'm international? So those kind of things. So these videos are just meant to answer those and kind of get ahead of them. Like, hey, a lot of people are asking this. Well, let me show you why it would. And you just kind of answer those doubts. Then we drop them into a countdown sequence, which is basically saying like, hey, you have 4 days to buy before this offer goes away. And we actually do take away those offers. It's all automated, but we do take away their access. So they really do only have those 4 ways to buy. And that's all covered in the videos section in Customer Hub, the membership area that you're given to. So I won't get too much into that right now. I can cover that on another call if you want. So that's the AutoWebby. I'll go through the other ones very quickly. Survey Siphon AutoWebby is the same. By the way, everyone, we are making new videos explaining all of these, so we should have them done. I'm not going to throw out a specific date because I'm not sure, but soon. Soon. Email only is just emails, so there's no videos in there, but we are saying the action we're asking them to take is to respond. So we will send them an email like, hey, so-and-so, you wouldn't do this to cold traffic, but hey, here's the offer, here's what we're doing. Reply back to this email if you're in. So you could do that, for coaching. Hey, so-and-so, I just opened up my coaching class to another 10 people. This is very selective. Here's what we're going to be doing. If you want more details, just reply to this and let me know. And then as soon as they reply, it automatically sends them another email. You can time it like, wait an hour, wait 20 minutes to automatically reply to that and say, hey, thanks for inquiry. Here's all the details. Let me send them another one. So that's the email only. Survey Siphon AutoWebby is just you are asking people to take a survey on what they want to learn, what they want you to cover, what topics, what their biggest challenges are, whatever it may be. You already have the content prepared for how they answer. So basically, you only have to do this once, and then everyone kind of answers the same, so you can keep running it. And you can, based on those answers, say, oh, okay, well, I'm running a webinar on X date that's going to teach you exactly how to do this. Hey, I got the results back. Most of you said you were having trouble generating traffic from advertising, whatever it may be. Well, I'm hosting a webinar on X day that is going to talk just about that, and you're also going to learn how to blank blank. So that's what that one's set up for. And then it's just from there, it's just an automated webinar campaign. 4-day cash machine and 4-day cash machine 2.0 are basically sales. So 4-day cash machine is just a countdown sequence, just saying like, hey, for the next 4 days, I've discounted product X by $100 because it's Halloween. So have a reason to do it, run it around the holidays, and it's a great kind of cash grab. That's why we call it the 4-day cash machine, just because it's basically like a flash sale. 4-day cash machine 2.0 is the same, but we're giving them a piece of value content first. So it's not just, we're not throwing everyone in the countdown sequence. We are sending an email here. If they click it, so only the people that are interested are then going into the sale. So basically we're just kind of segmenting the interested people and only sending them into the sale. So we're not, putting everyone in the countdown sequence and selling to people that don't want to, that have no interest. Auto launch is it's meant to replicate a launch formula. So it's 3 pre-launch videos hyping the product, and then they go right into a countdown sequence. So it's meant to, replicate a product launch, but it's, obviously automated. So everyone will have their own cart open date, their own cart close date, meant to replicate a product launch. Survey siphon we covered. New customer campaign is just a campaign purchased and follow-up sequence. So that's probably the most basic one. That's just anyone who purchases gets put into a follow-up sequence. And then the goodwill we already covered. So those are all the campaigns. I think that is a good stopping point for today. We've covered a lot. We're at about an hour right now. So I appreciate you all. I know there's some more questions in there. You can email me these questions. Like I said, if they are something that can be answered by Infusionsoft, I would recommend going to them because you will get an answer quicker. I'll see if I can rifle off some of these so we're not all leaving you hanging. If you do an email only, how does Infusionsoft know they're not clicking the link in the email? There is no link in the email. We just say email us at this thing, and there's a plus this feature that we use to set that up. I can go through that another time, but there's a special setup involved. So the megaphone pages, yes, they are just templates. They're just landing pages, and we gave you the templates that we have used. We don't have our content on there because our content is literally just videos. For our videos, we don't really have, we have a headline and we have our video on there. So we didn't put those in there because you're just gonna have to remove them anyway. So they're just the templates we used. All you have to do is put a headline and load your video in. And if you're selling from it, you have to set up the order form and stuff, but you can do that, and we can go over that on another call. So you can add tags to products, right? For every product they purchase, they can have a unique tag for that product. Yes, correct. You can do that, so you can know everyone who purchased specific products. So if they finish the campaign, it automatically removes all the tags. Not necessarily. I mean, you can set it up to do that. You just have to set it. You can set it to remove or apply any tags you want. You can customize all of that, but it's not set up to automatically remove all the tags, no. But you can set it up that way. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I'm going to upload this to Wistia, and then I will send you all a recording. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you have not got the campaigns or anything, feel free to shoot me an email. I am happy to help. Thank you all. We will talk to you next week. I will let you know when that call will be. But yeah, thanks again. We will talk soon.